Yeah, I want to jump in here. I want to say that the thing that has made no sense to me is really the standard Ukrainian cope about this offensive is that, oh, these are just probing attacks, right? They shouldn't be doing probing attacks. You do probing attacks when you have the superior quantity and you need to find the weakness in the opponent's inferior quantity, the place that they have a gap. The Ukrainians are supposed to have a high quality, right? They're supposed to have the best NATO trained troops, the best NATO tanks, and that kind of thing. They're supposed to be able to push through. And the fact that they aren't doing that, the fact that they seem to be attacking along the entire Zaporizhia front line is just shocking to me. I think what they should have done is gone all in, full blitzkrieg, big arrow, and one single arrow, and go straight towards Melitopol, and then sue for peace and try to.
You still agree, Archimedes, that they should have gone towards that direction?
Towards Melitopol, yeah, I think that would have been that's the only way I can see the Ukrainians winning, short of NATO getting fully involved. I mean, it seems like the best strategy for them is to go towards Melitopol, break through.
Can I ask you a question? Another question.
Mm-hmm.
What if? Because I've been this Avdiivka guy. What if they just keep that thorn and put their forces in keeping that city just alive? Because to be honest, it's the biggest thorn right now. So go ahead. Yeah, that was all I was wondering.
Yeah, it's a possibility too. It's not what I was thinking. I think that if imagine a world where they go and they do take Melitopol, and then they do destroy the Kerch Bridge again, right? And they fully destroy it this time. In a case like that, I think that the Russians are going to be pretty interested in negotiating, or certainly more interested in negotiating than they are now. Alternatively, they might just get angrier and escalate the conflict further. But that seems like the logical strategy for me. I didn't think of Avdiivka like that, though. That is an option.
I just want to add
Ron, you're muted.
What's happening with the dam explosion is that the entire reservoir area, that means between the Kakhovka Dam and the Dnieper Dam, which is at Zaporizhia city, the entire water level has fallen. It's fallen so much that you can actually see sandbanks all the way from the opposite side, which I think is Nikopol, all the way to Enohoda, which means that if they have the right armored vehicles, they might be able to just cross across without sinking. They might stuck in the mud, but no, they might be able to cross. So that actually opens up an entire front line that allows them to attack the Kherson region.
This is the thing about the dam, is it's a one-time play. It takes months and months to build up. Well, first, you can't rebuild the dam and then put all this water behind it. It's one shot. I thought it would be used as a weapon by either side. The Russians could open it without breaking it. But I thought it was going to be a bar to putting a whole pile of NATO trained troops and gear in there and then having them be flooded out. Or I just thought it was an indefensible place because of the dam. Thanks to the dam being gone, it now is an attack vector, and that benefits the stronger side, which is the Russians. With it there as a threat that either side could use, it was really more to the Ukrainians' benefit. But I'm quite sure they did this.
There's still 5 more dams on the Dnieper, though. 5 or 6, if I remember.
They haven't built up anywhere near that much water to have an offensive or blocking effect. So to my mind, that dam needed to stay in place for the civilians and as a threat to prevent any buildup of force in Kherson. It forced a neutral zone. Now it doesn't, and it's an incredible loss in power terms. Hydroelectric dams are very valuable as energy assets in the grid. And, it just, this to me is almost madness to do this without any military objective seemingly affected by it.
What about the consequences of it being military consequences, a military objective, and the consequences in terms of international visibility? What about when the world knows, if it is true, I don't know, nobody really can say for sure, that Ukraine destroyed that dam. But if Ukraine did it, if someone can prove it somewhere, right or wrong, now or later, it's a blow on all the Ukrainian narrative. They did something so reckless to get some objectives. I think that most of the world that's not committed to this war will say, we are free now. We can say, no, Our
Yeah.
moral stand goes, we are not with this shit. We are fed up. And this is very dangerous.
That makes sense.
And I think many people are not considering. But also, I would like to say something. What about this dam? Is when I try to read the news of the Western news. Most of the news outlets are very careful. They are very afraid that Ukraine did it. So they're not really blaming Russia. They're looking like ways around that somewhere in time they can say, okay, the dam blew from from itself because there was too much water on it. The Ukrainians did it because they have a really good objective, but it's very bad one. I don't know, but something is very negative about this thing.
The moment.
Just real quick. Okay, what I was going to say is, you can tell when something is not really that big, when there is a big topic technically, and we are talking about something really old, like a dam being blown. So there's currently an offensive, and we are not even talking about the offensive, we're talking about the dam being blown.
Let's not talk about the
Because
dam right now.
Well, but I think the offensive, we've all kind of agreed that it's ineffective and puny, and the dam has this huge long-term diplomatic
That's what I mean.
impact and civilian impact. I think the
Yeah,
dam is much more
course.
important.
In relation to the dam, I did see a story the other day about Russia's striking units that were redeploying from Kherson region into the Zaporizhzhia region. So the dam blowing does free up troops because it basically creates, like you said, a neutral zone that neither side can really operate on. And they can both just shoot artillery back and forth. It's not like they got to be there. So for Ukraine, it frees up a lot of people to go send them on this new failed offensive.
I just want to say that let's not take the dam and then go off into like talking about India or talking about Thailand, okay? Because you guys talk about humanitarian stuff. Obviously, the dam is a big humanitarian problem and has a lot of political stuff.
Really?
But in
How
this
dam, really? How big? Most of the populations around this dam were already evacuated a long time ago. How big is it?
No, well, wait. What's the question? How big is what?
There is an exaggeration about how big the effects of this dam really
Oh,
were.
okay. Let me answer your question now, Prada. So on the political sphere, how big was the blowing up of the pipeline? It gets as big as the world makes it. Like they can say, any country can say, oh, the evil Russians blew it and 10,000 people died, and then the world will start believing it. So we'll go down this black hole. But what I wanted to keep on topic was a little bit more on the offensive, and then we can move on to the dam.